Thank you very much. It's a pleasure to stay here and to make this presentation together with my friend Sven about using new technologies. So as Deutsche Telekom Group, we are located in many countries in Europe. Outside in Germany, of course, it's our home country, but I used to be responsible for new business development in 12 countries outside of Germany, and now I have the job, a new job, to build up, to set up a new business unit in Turkey. So I will try to explain why it is so important to set up this business unit in Turkey. Usually, in the other countries, we are doing operators business. So we have our networks, and we have, of course, other businesses, solutions, and so on, but it is a side business from the perspective, from the point of view of a telecoms operator. In Turkey, our job is to become a solutions provider for SMBs. So therefore, it is very important to sit here together with Mono, because Mono is one of our most important partners for that project. So before starting the business in Turkey, I used to be responsible, as mentioned, for new business development. So I set up with my team businesses for SMBs in several countries, such as in Greece, such as in Hungary, Croatia, Romania, and so on. And now we are going ahead to Turkey. So why it is important for telecom operators to play a role as solutions provider? Because, of course, our main business, access providing, is not such a growing business anymore. Of course, there are some recent technological improvements and so on, but the revenues are not increasing anymore. This is a quite difficult business. The competition is high, and therefore, access, so network access is not the telco's USP anymore. So it's only the first step today. I think about 50 years ago it was quite different. It was very important for SMBs to have a phone line and so on, and later on internet access, but nowadays it's just the first step for the SMBs. So if we switch the perspective to the SMBs and continue with that, so for SMBs today, being offline has very, very bad consequences. And if you look to our local markets, unfortunately, they are not so advanced like the US market. So most of the SMBs are really offline, so they are lacking of any websites. In the most of the cases, they are lacking of, especially if we are looking to Eastern Europe, any directory entries and so on. So our job will be to support those SMBs because they are losing some track and they are lacking of any modern channels to approach the customers, the SMBs. For us, of course, it might be a good idea, a good opportunity, so we would like to grab it. But we would like to grab this opportunity together with partners because we are not really developing the solutions we need. We are expecting the solutions from our partners. So partnering is becoming more and more important for that business. By the positioning ourselves as solutions provider, of course, our job is to leverage SMBs to get to the internet and make them visible. So this is very generic. How we can do this? We made some market research, especially in Turkey, because of the preparation of the business unit. We asked many SMBs, more than 500, how would you like to be got approached? And the most of the SMBs said, we would like to have a one-stop shop model. So we would like to get all the things we need from one hand. So web, directory, online advertising, and other products. So one-stop shop is becoming more important. And of course, the way to approach the SMBs is also important. In our point of view, we would like to offer only managed services. So do it yourself, it might be, but I think in order to create a USP towards the SMBs who are lacking of any IT knowledge and so on, it is very important to have managed services in order to leverage them to the internet. So therefore, on the one part, we are looking for partners. We are building our business marketplace for cloud and web products. But on the other hand, currently we are hiring the salespeople. The sales approach via direct and indirect sales is quite important in order to be a partner for the SMBs in the future. So, as mentioned, partnering is very important. For example, let me explain you, in each European country we have a business marketplace. In each business marketplace we have partner solutions of about 30 to 80 products. So it is important, and now we are building up the business marketplace for Turkey. So we are looking for about 30 to 35 business products in the first stage. So partnering is very important. Of course, partnering should offer a win-win situation for both parts, and in order to increase speed, price, and flexibility, and should be support us to that we can focus ourselves on our main job, to the sales interface, to the customer interface, to become an honest companion of the company, of the SMBs, because this is quite important. So this is our motto, life is for sharing at Deutsche Telekom Group. So that means for us, we share everything, experience, trust, and concerns. So by this way, we would like to make SMBs visible and putting them ahead of the competition. Of course, the SMBs, if you talk to them, especially in the Turkish market, but also in Eastern Europe, for them it is also important to have some security aspects. And because our brand is very well known as reliable, accessible, and trusted partner, this will help us to get also more acceptance at the SMB market. So, and this strategy is just a door opener for futures business, because the technology is developing more and more, especially the cloud business is coming, and therefore we would like to use this kind of approach as a door opener for futures business by bringing the SMBs online. So, thank you very much. So I would like...
We'll do questions after...
Yes, after Sven's speech.
After Sven.
Hello, I'm Sven. So I have the next part of the presentation. I'm from Mono, and as you saw, Deutsche Telekom they have a vision of making the small businesses visible on the internet. Fortunately, that's completely aligned with what we want to do. Our vision is basically to connect the small businesses with their customers, and to make it easier for the small businesses to make business online, because that's of course where the business is going. We are very proud to be a partner of Deutsche Telekom and to be part of this venture, to help them, to help the businesses. Because as you heard earlier, even though we are talking about being mobile friendly and responsive, watch friendly, wearable friendly, there's a lot of businesses that hasn't solved the first step. They're not even online, and they should be. So I think this is a very important message, and I think it's a very good thing that all of you guys and Deutsche Telekom as well are working to help the small businesses to go on the internet, be visible, and make business. For those of you who don't know Mono, some of you may know what we are doing. We're basically an online presence platform or digital presence management platform or whatever you want to call it. Our platform is a market leader platform, market leading platform that allows you to build your online presence very easily and add all the relevant services you need if you have a shoe shop somewhere in Europe. Have a website, have a mobile-friendly website, maybe have an e-commerce shop that you can manage yourself, maybe have some booking, scheduling software that allows your customers to actually book an appointment in your hairdresser salon or whatever. We have it all in the same solution. So that solution is what we are basically providing to the partnership with Deutsche Telekom. And I'm going to come back to that. One of the things, just another slide on what we are really good at Mono is large scale, because it's, of course, for the end customer, for the SMB, it's all about driving conversions. And you cannot convert a visitor on your website unless you have a very good website. And how do you build a website that is more than just your phone number and a stupid image of your storefront? You need to have something that is engaging. You need to have something that works and works well. But that takes a little bit of effort to build, especially if you need to do it on a large scale. And that's the key point for all the resellers, all the businesses you are in, basically, the publishers. How do you, at large scale, provide well-converting sites, online presence to so many businesses? Do it in a profitable way. That's what our platform basically does, and it also allows many different go-to-market models. We talked about earlier, I think it was you, Neil, who mentioned Do It With Me, wasn't it?
If I didn't, you can give me credit.
Or maybe it was, I think it was the GoDaddy.
It was Renee.
Renee, sorry, yeah, Renee. I prefer the term "do it to me." I think it sounds a little bit more sexy, but "do it with me" is okay. Anyway, we have both "do it with me" and of course "do it for me" and "do it yourself" solutions there, and those combinations allow, for example, Deutsche Telekom here in this example, to actually achieve their goals and provide the right solution for the SMBs. We are also present in many parts of the world, about 30 markets. We are headquartered in Copenhagen, but never mind that. It's not important now. What I would like to talk about is a little bit of the softer part of this. Actually, we talked about making business through partnerships. I guess it was you, Neil, who said that you predicted kind of directories added with digital natives.
I did make that prediction.
Yeah,
yes.
You did that. And I see kind of the partnership we have with Deutsche Telekom in that category, because Mono Solutions is a digital native, and we're partnering up with Deutsche Telekom to actually achieve something great, because we have in each other a good partnership that really complement each other. First of all, we have the common goal, as you saw, on Yusuf's vision, to make the businesses visible, and in our vision to actually help the small and medium-sized businesses connect with their customers. So we are completely aligned in our goal, and that's very important for a successful partnership. If you have different goals, it's not likely that you will make a really good partnership. We also have aligned interests, of course, commercially. That goes without saying. But the third bullet point up here, equal commitment, is something that we really appreciate in our partners, in Deutsche Telekom, who has really put an effort into going to market with this. This is not, as Yusuf said, just a side business. This is a full-fledged kind of business area in itself that has full focus. So full commitment in the partner for us, of course, is extremely important because otherwise we'll never get there. It's a very important thing, and it's often overheard, I think, because everybody's talking about getting online, but not really meaning it. They're still like defending their whatever print business on the side or other core business, but getting full focus and full commitment to actually do this thing is very important for us, and I think that's what makes the partnership with Deutsche Telekom here it's going to be very successful. So we're complementing each other, even though there's a little bit of difference in size. As you can probably guess, Mono Solutions is not the elephant on this picture. So one of the things that we actually, that I wanted to talk about a little bit, seen from our perspective as a technology provider to this venture, is how we like to work with Deutsche Telekom and how we think we're going to achieve success in this project. And one of the first things I thought about was actually that what really works well in this partnership, and which I believe is not often emphasized enough when we work together as partners, is the frequent contact. Actually, for over a year, I guess it is now, we had weekly meetings, frequent calls, lots of them. And I think it's extremely important when you're working with partners like this, that you don't keep them at arm's bay, but you keep them close. And this is what I really appreciate in this relationship, I would say, because it is like a relationship, a partnership, that you keep that close contact, even though we have different foci of, we are a technology provider and Deutsche Telekom provides the presence. We really need to talk together. And through all these talks, we have actually enriched each other very much on all levels, I think. Both commercially, with know-how, and also strategic discussions that has enriched our strategy as a technology provider. But I'm sure also Deutsche Telekom has learned something from us when it comes to what really makes a good online presence, how you scale the business, how you make it a profitable venture to deliver online presence to such a large number of SMBs. So listening and being open is key, really key for a successful partnership, business partnership. And I think the combination of a directory and a digital native, I'm not saying Deutsche Telekom is a directory though, but in Niels' presentation, I think that such a partnership could work if you are listening and being open to each other's strong sides, of course. And so during the last year, we've had many workshops, we have had many talks, we have exchanged ideas on all levels, I think. We have combined our know-how. This picture is actually taken from one of those workshops in Deutsche Telekom's headquarters in Bonn. And I think the last bullet point really says everything, that to include the partner in the decision process is actually a good thing. It shouldn't be like that you have a decision process and then you exclude your partners. If you really want to do something well in the partnership model, you need to include each other in the decision-making processes. You need to provide transparency, and that's a very important point for us. So, to round it off, I think we have 5 minutes for questions.
I
just want to say one last thing.
Yeah, go ahead.
So just to round it up, I think that the headline here is that muscle and alignment plus conviction and scalability will make a successful venture, basically, a successful partnership, and ultimately a profitable business. And Mono Solutions provides, of course, a very scalable platform. Deutsche Telekom provides a very strong multinational presence. We are very aligned in our partnership, and we are committed to succeed. And that's why it's going to succeed. So thank you.
All right, thank you. So I have a bunch of questions, and maybe you all can jump in with me here, but you said 30 products, 35 products. I hear that and I get dizzy as an SMB. How do you present 30 products to SMBs? What's your go-to market strategy? Do you have people on the phone calling them? Are they coming to you? Take us through that a little bit, please.
So, of course, if you have 30 products in your portfolio, you are not able to present each of them
Right.
in the first step.
So how do you figure out what to present? And is this
Yeah.
an inbound call or an outbound call?
Usually, in some countries, we are doing outbound calls, only outbound calls. In some countries, we have only online presence, so inbound is merely required. In Turkey, we will have only direct sales, so field sales.
Outside sales.
Outside sales. So because we analyzed the market very well, and now we are doing some focus groups and starting with soft launch by October, and then the first go-to-market is by January. And the approach is to go directly to the SMBs, and we will have a kind of interview form in order to analyze and understand what is the key pain of the SMB. In the most of the cases, it's the web presence, because they are about 80% of the VSPs and the SMBs in Turkey are lacking of web presence.
Web presence.
So this is a key entrance, but then we have to analyze what is merely required. So we will only offer one or two more solutions as a kind of accessory solution for them. So we are not going to overwhelm the SMBs. In that case, we are not able to sell anything.
So I go back to that picture of the elephant and the mouse. What's that business model look like between an elephant and a mouse? In terms of, I mean, you know, is it rev share? Is it a licensing share? I mean, what kind of business model what does it look like? And you don't have to be specific, but give us a sense of how, you know, your company thinks about business models with small providers like Mono.
Let me explain. In our business marketplace, it's usually a rev share model. So usually we are getting a special amount of the share of the sales price for ourselves. It's similar to the App Store models, as you know. But the main thing is to be an elephant doesn't mean that we are not seeing the smaller businesses or partners. Especially smaller partners are more than welcome for us because they are more flexible and more agile than us, than a huge company. For example, let me explain you the decision-making process only for this Turkey business unit had taken more than 3 years.
All right, so hold on. Let's talk about that for a second. Okay. The world is moving very quickly.
Yeah.
And I understand 3 years might be quick for a big elephant like that to make a decision. But what kind of learnings can you take back into the company and say, you know, this is great that we've got this one with Mono going, but the next one can't take 3 years? Because if you do the math, it'll be 2027 before you get anywhere.
Yeah, let me explain. We are a multinational company, so we are operating in many countries. So 3 years decision making for Turkey business unit didn't mean that we had stopped all the activities. So we built up the business unit in Greece, in Romania, in Croatia, and so on. So we've done business in the meantime.
All right. Questions from the audience? Before we go to a break, and I have some other... There's a question, there's a hand. Thank you.
Yeah. Hello, my name is Vincent Curl. I just would like to know what is the pricing range of those 35 products. So what would be the lowest price? And what maybe would be the highest price? I'm not asking for detail, but just if we could have a range.
The question is, what's the range of prices, the price that small businesses would pay for some of those 35 solutions? Are they, I mean, Sort of, can you translate into euros or, like, is it a $100 website or a $1,000 website?
I think it depends of the features and the quality. So we are going to offer from €5 to 100 and €150. So it depends really what's in. If somebody is requiring a very sophisticated e-commerce site, in that case it will be more. Or if somebody is requiring also assistance service for their incoming emails, in that case we have to think about a special model, because we will also approach companies, smaller businesses in Turkey, who has also already connection to abroad, but without having so many people who are able to handle English emails, for example.
Okay, so €5 per month, I presume.
Yeah, €5 per month.
Per month. There's another question from James there, Kimberly.
Thank you. Hi there. You talked about website being the key product and then narrowing down to 2 or 3 other products at the beginning. Can you talk about, in terms of themes, what are the sort of 2 or 3 other things you've identified apart from website as priorities?
You mean in the
in
business
terms of the
marketplace?
product suite, yes.
If you talk to smaller businesses in order to understand what are they needing beyond website building, they are asking, for example, especially in the Turkish market, for special cloud products.
Special what?
Cloud products in the area of, for example, CRM. It's very required, or some ERP solutions or accounting and so on.
So I have a final question, unless Kim has a question.
No, what I found really interesting when I heard about this project, and I don't know, it's not really a question, it's a comment, is we're all talking about everybody moving into the space, and we know that only 50% of small businesses do not have websites. And now we have the elephant moving into the space that we thought we owned, okay? A lot of media companies, and I think it's really interesting to see some of the movement. We know newspapers are moving into this space. We're competing, and now, Deutsche, is this conquer the world now?
So that's a great lead into my question. So, okay, let's go back to that picture of the elephant and the mouse. So they both have to eat, right? And it's $100. How much does the mouse get to eat of that $100, and how much does the elephant get to eat?
I think that's a business secret.
That's fair.
The mouse is not very hungry.
The mouse doesn't need a lot of food.
But let me
The mouse is on a vegetarian diet.
Let me explain again. So in Germany, for example, we have ongoing business. In Germany, we have also our website provider. It's belonging to us. But usually, if you are elephant, your platforms are so sophisticated, you are not able to be
digest
flexible and agile to bring them outside in new markets. Therefore, in new markets, we need agile and flexible partners such as Mono Solutions. In Germany, we are serving our customers with more than 2 million e-commerce sites.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
So in Germany, we are already website operators.
So you don't need to eat very much in Turkey, and you can let your partner eat a lot more of the food, is what you're saying.
No comments.
No comments. I think on that, before we go to the break, after the break, we have a session on mobile, a session on social with some LinkedIn folks, and a session on transactions. It should be 3 great sessions. Go to the break, be back here at 15:45, excuse me. 30 minutes from now. Thank you very much.